Did you all watch the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 2? Oh, God. Triggered. Disgusted. Disappointed. Not surprised. These are the things that I'm feeling right now. I have not reviewed a show in a long time. I'm not even playing my intro or anything today, you guys. I haven't reviewed a show in a long time, although I love doing reviews, and many of you have come to my channel because of the reviews that I had done, although there haven't been many. And I stopped doing them literally because of scheduling. But I'm going to get back to them. I am getting back to them right now, starting here and now. Hopping in at the reunion is crazy, but here we are because the Real Housewives of Potomac triggered me, y'all. And it's been triggering me all season. I've made videos here and there talking about this show. And the talk, if you can call it that, the conversation, if you can call it that, about colorism was so very darn triggering. During Black History Month in the year of our Lord 2023, and I felt compelled to say something. Part of the reason why I feel compelled is because I'm a Black woman. I am a dark-skinned Black woman, and I have been fighting the fight of colorism. For those who don't know, I started a pageant called the Miss Pretty Period pageant, where we had a pageant for teenage dark-skinned girls, because the standard of beauty in this country is the very opposite of everything that we are. And so I had this pageant a couple years ago. I am going to bring the pageant back. But I have been very intentional about combating colorism because I have been, I don't want to say a victim, but a victim of colorism in our community. And so I feel I was triggered by watching Andy, the white man, as he so graciously pointed out, and a host of light-skinned women plus Wendy and Candace, who's a brown-skinned woman. I was triggered watching them make excuses for their colorist behavior, and even going as far as to be glad that the conversation that lasted 2 seconds was over. So, do I want to review the whole show? Let me just say a couple things about the other things that happened, and then we'll get into the colorism conversation. Number one, I'm still stuck on the fact that Ashley Darby said Giselle likes to put sauce on things as it relates to her exaggerating Chris Bassett's encounter with her. First of all, let me just say something about putting sauce, exaggerating, putting 20 on 10. Look at your neighbor and shout, neighbor. An exaggeration, a little exaggeration is a whole lie. A little exaggeration is a whole lie. But I have a whole theory as to why Ashley really has a problem with Candace, and that's the video I'm doing next. So y'all tune in for that. Subscribe to the channel so I can tell y'all about that. Robin makes a statement that it's not fair for Candace to get upset about her bringing things on camera because when they're filming, everything that they do should be on camera. Girl. Giselle said that her hysterectomy sharing was the biggest feedback she gotten from women, and Candace says, duh, because it's the first time you were real. And Candace, let me pause you, sis, because if that's the first time she was real, you have been complacent in her being fake this whole time until it turned to you. You were complacent when she was plotting on everybody else's family until we got to you. Do you call her out before or just when it got to your front door? Anyway, Andy says that people are always on Giselle to share about her life because she has an obsession with others sharing hers, which she does. She says that that's not true. It is. We literally have seen you do that for seasons, Giselle. Like, on these shows, y'all just say anything. Y'all just lies. Just flat out. So she blames production and points to Wendy with her long arm and says she's not going to share her health issues with someone she doesn't like. And Wendy says, I don't like you, sweetie. And that was hilarious. Now let me pause and say this. Giselle, that's only one aspect of your life. Girl, you've been on this show for seasons. We ain't seen nothing real except your daddy talking about Jamal Bryant's side kids. Everything else. Oh, and how your daughters try to drive. I mean, everything else is giving contrived. It's giving fake. It's giving forced or reactive to what other people are doing. People have spilled your stuff. You ain't just came forward with nothing. So please stop it. Then we get to talking about Giselle's new boyfriend. And let me tell y'all something about why Robin and Giselle can't stand Wendy. Because now that they are being asked and being forced to answer, they don't like women, specifically dark-skinned women, who have the nerve, the gall, the audacity to stand up for themselves against them. Have y'all noticed that most of the men that Giselle have brought on this show or have been linked with have been dark-skinned, but she can't stand a dark-skinned black woman? None of them could she stand. It's not coincidental to me that Wendy, Candace, Sharice, and what's my girl name? Monique have been the women on the outs on this show. And they all brought brown skin or darker. So then they show the Wendy package and Mia is not apologetic about throwing the drink at her. Now, what was the whole apology for on camera if you're still sitting up here not taking responsibility for it? She's literally still making excuses and saying she had enough of Wendy's decision of not letting herself be punked. Mia then accuses Wendy of sleeping with Peter and says she saw it on the cameras. I want Wendy to sue Mia for libel and slander. Use a dirty lie. So you could view Peter's business camera footage, but you couldn't even see your brothers-in-law coming to snatch the business from under you. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, mind the business that pays you. So Robin is keeping up with this PR lie that she was filming Wendy for Wendy. Girl, I think that's my word for Robin. It's just girl. Anyway, Wendy begins to tear up and says how the group violated her was wrong. And it was, period, point blank. And I felt her on that. I love the fact that now we about to get into this colorism thing. I love that we started out with Andy talking about him being white and how he should absolutely not be leading this conversation. He should not be in the room. He should not be present. He should not be lending a voice. He should not be explaining what other people are talking about. He should not be a moderator. He should not be a mediator. He should not be on this topic of colorism. I hate that they're having this conversation in this white space. I hate that they are having this conversation because the light-skinned women on this show are armed and purposely committed to not understanding colorism, though a definition was read for them. They are willfully ignorant to avoid accountability. And just as white people do with racism, they are choosing to redefine it to make themselves less culpable. It is vile and disgusting and triggering to watch. They agreed to discuss it without a moderator when giving the choice to. Hold on. So y'all could have brought in an expert, someone who's clear on what colorism is, what it does, the effects it has on black and brown communities across this world, and y'all chose not to have a moderator. I wonder why. I believe that you chose not to have a moderator because you would rather stick on entertainment and not explain or listen to how your nasty behavior has triggered the audience, your black audience, all year. Had you brought in a moderator, you would have had to face truth. Had you brought in a black person, you wouldn't have been able to escape where, well, it's just their personalities. Had you brought in a person who was, versed on colorism, I wish y'all would have brought in Eloho. I wish y'all would, who is a YouTuber, you guys. I wish y'all would have brought in Lovely T, another YouTuber who talks about colorism. Bring in me. I have openly talked about colorism. Why? It's because you wanted to evade accountability. And that goes for everyone. It's disgusting. Candace, thank you for reading the definition of colorism. I wish you would have used a better example. You were made to be a villain or wrong for being upset and or showing emotion. Ashley and Robin have done the same things and not considered villains. Yes, Robin, you have been called a mean girl, but this is what people don't understand about colorism. Because when we get to talking about colorism, unfortunately, our light-skinned sisters like to participate in the struggle awards. Well, I was made fun of too. That's not the definition of colorism, sweetheart. We're all made fun of as kids. It's about discrimination. Okay? That's what you're not understanding. It's about discrimination, being mistreated, prejudice. You don't face that. Not in our group of people, not in our people group. You do not face that. The issue is that both Ashley and her forehead and Candace and her forehead have done the same vile things. They mirror each other, but they get on Candace about her behavior, whereas Ashley gets on scotch-free. The issue is Monique and Mia have both assaulted, put hands on someone on this cast, and only Monique was talked about as a disgraceful black woman. And Candace, while you are saying, and she was, my issue with you, Candace, is when she did something wrong, when she put hands on you, which was wrong, you turned into a Karen, ma'am. You call her all kind of ghetto and all kind of negative, you ghetto hood, this and that. The same thing you do when you get upset with Ashley calling her a bed wench. Are these things appropriate for black educated women to say? No. So then are you a disgrace to black women? Oh, all right. The reason why dark-skinned black people are painted as villains, whether on this reality show, because they are, or on movies, television, and them is because the stereotype with dark-skinned people is that we are angry, more masculine, overly aggressive. Everything y'all paint Wendy as. It is so triggering to watch Giselle, who is the mother of brown-skinned daughters, and you are intentionally obtuse. You don't even realize, or maybe you just don't care, that your daughters will never in our community hold the same privilege as you do. And the way y'all pointing out on social media, talking about her dad is a civil rights leader, he should be ashamed. Let me tell y'all something. Colorism was going on back in the movement, and y'all got to understand that her light-skinned father and light-skinned mother, it was taught. It was taught. If y'all go ahead and watch Ty Said's video that she got out about Giselle's father, before she even put it out, I already knew it was taught. The way that women have been etched out of the history of the civil rights movement, y'all gotta know. Y'all gotta know what it is. Y'all gotta know what it is. So, Karen cuts into this very short segment on colorism, and she speaks true. She said you have to consciously undo colorist thoughts. And if you have not, I will add this part, done the work to train your brain on this, because colorism is ingrained in our society because of white supremacy. In my opinion, you are a colorist. It doesn't take effort or conscience to be colorist. And I think that's what Ashley Darby is not understanding. She's talking about we love each other, which we don't see that. I don't think that's accurate. You love each other, and some personalities just don't work and all that. Ashley, shut up. Nobody's saying that because you argue with dark-skinned people that you're a colorist. That's not what they're saying. They're saying colorism is running alive and well, and it's running amok in your circle because the same consequences Candace or Monique or Wendy faces, you will never face. That's why your husband can literally be touching butts on this show and get away with it because he white. It's the same thing. You see how that works? It's the same thing with racism. Racism and colorism are kin. They cousins. Y'all need to understand that. And I feel just as a white person can never tell me that I wasn't discriminated against, you're never going to tell me that what I felt was not racism. You're never going to define racism for me. There ain't never a time on this planet, in this lifetime or the next, when anybody who does not deal with colorism is going to define colorism for me. If I say I see it, I see it. Ashley, Giselle, and no one else is going to tell me, well, no, that's not true. I said what I said. Y'all could have really had a great discussion, a real one, on this topic. Y'all out here, now a couple seasons ago, y'all was talking about representing black women. Y'all did a poor job of talking about this black issue on this network. I almost am moved to tears to see a woman, Giselle, with two brown children, two dark-skinned children, behave in this way and avoid accountability. And then when the subject was moving on, for you to say good, for you to be excited about moving on. Well, Giselle, one day you're going to have to face this, baby. Because when your daughter come home crying, because your kid's getting ready to go to college, when they come home crying about the discrimination they face, remember today. Remember how you acted like colorism didn't exist. Remember how you ignored the plight of dark-skinned women. Remember that when you are comforting your daughters. I don't think it takes conscious effort to be colorist. Like I said, because it is ingrained. Colorism is ingrained. It takes effort to not be colorist. And it's nothing that you have to do on purpose. But overtly, Giselle, you are colorist. Overtly. I don't want to watch this show anymore. I don't. It's so triggering. It is so triggering. It is triggering. I'm sorry, y'all. It is triggering to watch a bunch of women treat Wendy in that manner. And to say she deserved the drink, you didn't care about what happened to her because I don't like her. Nobody cares about who you like. Imagine the people that was under this lady in ministry. And this is how you behave. This y'all queen. Girl, and Robin, just shut up. Just shut up. Get your life with wine in order. I believe that both Giselle and Robin are furious with Wendy for sticking up for herself. But they are also furious because of colorism, honey. Wendy is the living embodiment of everything they're supposed to have. Okay? Because of the stereotype, they're supposed to have the husband with the children, the white picket fence, being the professionals and all that other stuff. Robin had to claw her way out of debt and being scammed. She got a black man that don't care if she wake up tomorrow. He don't give a darn if he's hers. He publicly embarrasses her. He treats her wrong. Baby Giselle married a man that has several babies on the ear her face. Gets with Sherman, whatever that man name is. Yeah, I think his name was Sherman. He got an ex-wife. He done left because of the show. And y'all are miserable. At least that's what you project on this show. You think often that the stereotype is that the pretty girls are the light-skinned ones with the quote-unquote good hair. Meanwhile, Wendy, this African woman, statuesque, dark-skinned, beautiful, long hair, her dark skin, wide nose, at least before, wide lips, got a fine black man devoted to her. Beautiful black children, both professionals. Got a union you cannot break even though you tried. And when y'all see her, y'all mad. Because Wendy is the hope and the dream of the slaves, honey. And y'all, anyway, she's got everything y'all want. And that's why you mad. Because that dark-skinned woman got the audacity to not let the big bad wolves shut her up. When dark-skinned women have the audacity to have mouth, you can't take it. I am disgusted. Are y'all still watching this show? I don't know if I'll be watching next season. I don't even know Robin is still on, but I guarantee you that she will be on next season. I would love for them to demote her or get her off of this show, but I guarantee you she'll be on because she and Giselle are a package deal and she is protected. Watch what I tell y'all. What did y'all think about this colorist conversation? Let me know in the comments down below. We are not attacking each other. We are having a conversation. Don't get blocked being disgusting. All right, I love y'all. Hopefully y'all thumbs up this video, share it for me, comment and subscribe, and y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to my channel because my next video I'm gonna talk about Candace and Ashley in depth. All right, y'all, have a blessed day.